Good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie, and thank you for being on our Monday night call where everyone's absolutely welcome. And tonight's topic's all about packaging your story, so really sharing your product testimonial and your business testimonial in the most powerful way possible. So we're going to kick off the evening like we normally do with our good news. So first we're going to bring up Lindy. So are you from Canberra, Lindy?
Yes, I am, Shelley, yes.
So come and share your good news.
I've had a few good runs this week. I've had one friend who's an artist who also does shift work, so struggles to maintain his weight. So we've had whilst schmoozing at a new art gallery, I got to talk to him and some other people, but he started on just a very basic program, but he's happy with that. Then I had out of that the boys' speech therapist came around to do a visit, and she's celebrating her 50th coming up soon, and then she decided she wanted to lose some weight because her 50th they're going to Italy, lucky thing. So that's a nice one. I just generally just went shopping, had my button on as I'm doing all the time now, and the young girl's a celiac, so then she started on the Formula One Select. And of all people, my Star Trek delivery bloke is a real sweetheart, and he comes every time and he says, I'm always so tired, so he's coming this week, so I'll chat to him again. So I'm on a roll at the moment.
Awesome. Love your attitude. You do so much. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Lindy. So Lydia from Biloela, come on up and share your good news.
Hey Shelley, welcome to the call everybody. So yeah, I'm really excited about this school term. Always love Mondays. School holidays are a bit of a lull time for us because I just do focus on the kids. However, a little bit of self-development over the holidays and getting the brain operational, I guess you could say, and thinking positive. I finally got out 1,000 flyers last week, so feeling good about that and hoping, you know, we don't always get the result from flyers instantly. However, you know, the next 2 to 3, months, hopefully I see a result with that. As I have some going out, I'm going to try and do this a monthly basis. But just with that thinking straight, I think I had a call back from a client that I spoke with over the phone not quite 12 months ago, Shelley. It just goes to show that if you keep people around the flagpole and they keep watching you and you keep advertising and letting people know that you're in business, he's obviously gotten the hint. And nearly 12 months ago, I spoke with him. Like I said, I've got him on the products today. A quick 10-minute phone call out the front of the gym over the phone. And I sent his products out this afternoon. I've also had a lady that lives at the Sunshine Coast that was a previous client of mine for probably 18 months in Biloela, but she moved. She's visiting Biloela on Thursday, so I'm going to hook her back up on the herbs. Get her reinstated, come around for a cup of tea, show us some of the new products from the last 12 months. And also I had another lady come through as a referral. So one of my challenged ladies that I advertise, like we say, heavily on Facebook, her cousin's seen that advertisement with me tagging her cousin that, got third prize in the weight loss challenge. And I met up with her on Sunday afternoon, about half an hour, show her the products, give a few samples, made her a few shakes. And I've actually got her on the products. This was her day one today. So 3 clients in the last 5 days. So yeah, let's just hope the ball keeps rolling.
Fantastic. So I know that you live in the country area and like your population's like, is it 8,500 or something?
Yes, that's 6,000, 5,000 to 6,000 in town.
So how are you getting your flyers out? Because obviously some of it must be spread out.
So I do them locally here each week myself, Shelley. I don't get through 1,000. However, I've got a lady in Rockhampton that actually puts out my flyers for me, so I pay her. And as the bloke from Blackwater, well, that was an advertisement that I had advertised on the Sell, Swap and Buy page last year that he hit on, and I spoke with him. So he's kept my number. But yeah, time is precious, and I had been over to Hamilton. I had been over to Rockhampton in the past just to do flyers, but I can't. What can I say? I can't do the price of fuel, and my time is worth too much to be walking flies around. Not that I don't enjoy it, but it's an hour and a half, nearly just over an hour and a half to Rockhampton. And for me to spend 3 hours and jump back in the car and make school pick up, it's not worth it. The $60 pays that lady.
Well, I think that's a great solution to that, finding out, one of your biggest populations you can get right as close to you as possible and getting those flyers outside. I think it's a great solution. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That's awesome good news.
No,
Thank you. We have the lovely Irene from the Sunshine Coast. I'd love to hear your good news.
Yes, we've had a revamp of our swimming pool, and it's amazing how you can find clients no matter where you are. And one of the guys who was doing the spraying of the Pebblecrete, while they were working on the pool, we were giving him, Con was giving him the rebuild strength, and he loved it so much and noticed the difference that he not only bought some, but he signed up so that he could continue on the rebuild strength. And the other one is one of our clients. She's been with me for some time to lose weight. However, she's lost 16 kilos. But the most exciting part for her is that she's had some clots in her lungs when she was a little girl. So they have her on a lot of medication. And her last visit to a doctor, just through the good nutrition, he is so happy. He says he will be taking her off all of her medication. She is so excited. And as I said to her, as you get older, people tend to have more and more drugs, and she's getting off hers. So it's very rewarding to see the difference, not only physically but mentally, in what good nutrition can do. It really is.
Excellent.
That's it for this week.
Yeah, thank you, Irene. That's I was actually reading something, some statistics that how many people actually die each year just from being on medication, like the too much, or the side effects and things like that. It's actually astronomical amount. So just imagine the impact you're having on this person's life. You're extending their quality and lengthening their lifespan. So how cool is that? So thank you. Coral, please come up and share your great news. So you're from Deception Bay, have I got that right?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Come on up, Coral.
I've actually had a client that's signed up quite a while ago, nearly a year ago, and she's been a member before, but she hasn't been buying the products. But I did have her son come in for a wellness profile at the time, and he contacted me on Instagram, which is my first time I've had anyone contact me on Instagram, asking if the products are good for pregnant women. And I texted him, messaged him through Instagram and said, of course, but we can talk about it. And he said, well, we are trying and I want to get together and get started. So he messaged me a few times, and it led to he's coming up on Thursday for an appointment and wants to get started, was his words. Yep. And also I had another lady that came on the weekend. She's in the late 60s, sores all over her face, all over her arms. I've got her on the products. She's on the skin range, and boy, can we see the difference. And the husband's even commenting, he's saying it brings some life back. and it's just amazing on these products and what's happening of all ages. I just love it.
Fantastic. Yes, I remember you mentioning her a couple of weeks ago, so we can't wait to see the before and after photos with her as well. Excellent. Thank you so much, Coral and Michael, for sharing. I really appreciate it. So thanks for your good news, everyone. So let's get on with the call. So this is a really important topic and something that we were taught right at the very beginning, and I'll call on a few people as we go along. So obviously when it comes to our talking about our product result or our business story, we stick with the facts. Okay, so we always deal with the facts, and you hear it a lot, 90% opinion, 10% facts. So we really want to deal with the facts every single time, and the more you record, especially at the beginning, on how you're feeling and things that have happened, they're things that you can add into your story, because sometimes we forget. So try and document if you can, taking before photos. I know I've heard some people say, I don't have a before photo, I wish I did. So make sure if you're fairly new in the business that you take a before photo or find one as soon as possible. It's really, really important. In fact, I think, Lydia, didn't you say that you didn't have a before? Yes, and you wish you had it. So I'm sure we'll find one if you run me through.
I know. I just didn't get that one that everybody gets, that perfect one. You know, I sort of had photos that I could go back on, I guess. But yeah, just not that perfect one leaning up against the wall, you know, that really miserable one that tells a story.
Absolutely. So, and that's it. That's, you know, a picture tells 1,000 words. So just to be able to show a photo, and it's not just products and skin, but it can also be your lifestyle too, showing before and after with lifestyles or upgrading your car or anything like that. They're all the photos that you can share that really get all that, you know, Jim Rohn always says there's drama in the details. So all that detail, when you've got time to share it, is very, very effective. So we're always told that it's not important if someone doesn't buy your story. So you might be telling someone about your result and other people's results. And if they're not interested, it's okay. You know, don't take it personally. And the most important thing is you don't buy theirs. And what I mean is don't take on someone's negative attitude or rejection. They're not rejecting you. It's just that they're not ready. You know, it's not now. It's probably not a no. No, it's not usually forever. But don't take it personally. This is really important at the beginning. I remember how devastated I used to be when someone would say no. But really, they're saying no to themselves. They've got some things that they've got to work through. But stay in touch, just like Lydia and a few other people have said. There's people that are watching what you're doing, especially with social media, and just keep in touch that way. And when they're ready, they will come to you, okay? So make sure you're doing your personal development, you're going out with a good attitude. It's like you've got that armor on, and it doesn't matter if someone makes a comment or anything like that. You're you know, bulletproof, basically. Did anyone want to add to that? Just any comments? I'm happy to have anyone add. So I'm just flicking through on who's on the
You can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
I love that too. Thank you. Why didn't I add that one on? So yes, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So if you go out with that sort of attitude, it kind of, you're not worrying about when someone says no. And sometimes you have to go through the no's to get to the yeses. So, and we'll go through a little bit on numbers as well in a second too. Okay, so this is really important, and it's one that I struggled with at the start. If it's necessary not to say, so if it's not necessary to say, it's necessary not to say. A bit of a tongue twister. So what that means is, you know, you don't need to add things in if it's not necessary. Just grab the most basic facts and add them into your story. So for example, if I said, I got started on the products 27 years ago and I used them and I lost 17 kilos in 16 weeks. Then I got pregnant twice and I gained some weight back. And then I did this and then I did that. And I add all this stuff in, and it's probably not really necessary. Probably the best thing I can do is just add my most recent story that, you know, I've lost 20.2 kilos, 3 dress sizes, over 20 centimeters off my tummy. And by the way, I've been able to maintain that now, and I've been using this great nutrition for over 27 years. So that's a more powerful way to put it than adding in all that extra stuff that probably isn't really necessary to say, okay? So, and it's great to practice it with your coach or someone else. Write your story down and then package it. We're going to do this a little bit tonight anyway. Irene or Con, did you have anything to add to that? No, you have to unmute yourself, Irene. You've muted yourself. So I'll let you. Just bottom left.
I unmuted myself. I did what you said. No, actually not. I think that probably it's not necessary for me to say anything else. Therefore, it's necessary not to say anything else. I love that. And I think as well, sometimes we forget that it's the message that's important, not about us, but about them and what they can hear, so that you can help them. I think that's really important to always have in your head as well as in your heart.
Yes, thank you. That's a very great point. So I think, especially when you're at the start of talking to people and you're a bit nervous, sometimes when we're nervous, we tend to over talk and talk and talk and talk. And so just, you know, take a deep breath and just, you know, remember your story, have it written down so you can practice it, and just really stick to those basic facts. And we'll go through a few tips as well.
And Shelley, just one thing there that came to my mind, and that is because I tend to rabbit on a little. And so to stop myself, I would say, and I keep this in my head, that's enough about me. How about you?
Right. I love it.
Enough about me. And I use that with my children. I use it with my grandchildren. You can use it with anyone. But it really, when you find or think this, you're rabbiting on, you can't stop yourself. Just remember that. Enough about me. How about you?
Right. It's such a great phrase to use just to get the intention back onto that person. So remember, when we're packaging our story, which I've just spelt wrong, I've got packing. So who spelled check my work? Use the facts in the most powerful way possible. Okay, so this is what you want to do. You want your story to be powerful, but you want it to be truthful. So let's go on with the next one. We've got a few. Come on. So when you're packaging your story, you want to have a few different ones depending on the time frame you've got. So for example, if you're in line at the supermarket and the person that's serving you is asking you, but you've got a whole line of people behind you, you need to have your 30-second story. So it's like, oh, hi, I'm Shelley. I live here in Gympie. Yep, I lost 20.2 kilos, 3 dress sizes. How about I grab your details and I'll give you a call back, or I can pop back in when it's quiet and have a chat, you know, and organise to catch up with them when they've got the time. The 3 to 5 minutes might be in the lift, or, you know, you might be sitting in the coffee shop next to somebody that's just asked you off your button, or maybe some products you've got sitting on the table, and you can just elongate that a little bit, but make sure you grab their details after. And then the 30+ minutes, you might be at a wedding or a barbecue, where over a period of time you're able to kind of talk about your story a bit more. So, and of course, this is not you talking for 30 minutes straight. There'll be some back and forth, and you may even have some other results on your phone to share as well. So, so what I wanted to ask, just for practical sake, so let's say Lindy, because I know you're always such a good helper on these calls. How confident are you at your 30-second story?
Well, I knew you were doing this tonight, so I wrote it down. I'm more the 30-minute person, because I do the to and fro, and that makes me a little bit more relaxed. So the 30-second one, that's a bit more challenging for me.
Oh, tell me your story, not in 30 minutes, but just give me a rundown on your story, and that's it.
Thanks, Shelley.
For you.
I love the way you think I'm just... well, before Herbalife, I was always snacking and seeking out sweet foods, having lots of nana naps and lots of challenges with bad digestion. And a friend of mine had actually hassled me for over a year until I caved. And so then I went on to the Ultimate program, and to which I still do to this day because I love it so much. And I got more energy. I'm not having afternoon sleeps, and the kids are racing to catch up with me. So I've lost 24 kilos in 20 weeks, and I'm still losing, and the centimetres are still losing too.
Right. So we're not going to use the time frame because I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to, but that's okay. If you're talking to a friend, I'm sure that can come in. So this is your 30-second story. Hi, I'm Lindy from Canberra. Before Herbalife, I was always snacking. I was a massive sweet tooth, had nana naps and really poor digestion, and I was carrying too much weight. A friend of mine approached me, and I got started on the Ultimate program. I now have more energy. I've lost 24 kilos and I'm still reshaping.
Okay, that's nice.
So that's a great, and guess what? We recorded this so you can listen to it over and over.
I should have been speaking to my upline. Oops.
So that's a nice packaging, because guess what? How many people are tired out there? How many people are eating junk food and snacking and have sweet tooths and feel bloated and want to lose weight, you know, for Christmas or summer? So you've got all these, you know, things that are really powerful and relevant to right now, to people you're speaking to, and then you're giving them what's happening to you now, and you ought to show it before photo, and just going to, wow, whatever it is, I want whatever you're on, and that's always, you know, right. So that's a really powerful story.
Yeah, and I think too, just make it really, I know everyone keeps saying making the decision, but it really is very true. Once you make the decision to go, I'm doing it, then it seems to go with the flow. You know what I mean? It just works.
And you could add that into your story. A friend of mine approached me, so I made the decision. So you're just planting that win, like Irene says, you know, enough about me. Let's talk about you. Or how about you? You know, those sort of things that you can say. So, you know, I made the decision, and guess what you're looking for? You're looking for decision makers. So again, you're planting those seeds on the sort of person you want as a client. You want someone like you. So obviously the 3 to 5 minutes can be a bit more elongated, and then the 30 minutes can be when you've got that time at a barbecue where you're toing and froing and having a chat about things. And of course, the great thing about the 30-minute one, but it's really relaxed, if you're not sure if someone's really serious, you can have a bit of a chat and then change the subject. Guess what? If they're interested, they're going to keep coming back and asking about. I've had this happen before. I had my button on at a tennis thing where we're having a barbecue, and the lady asked me. I just thought she was being polite, and then I started talking about other stuff and forgot about it, and she kept asking me. So by the end of the afternoon, she'd asked me 3 times, and she just said, "Oh, I'm really interested." So she's come around, and she's been on the products now for nearly 2 years. And in fact, we're going to visit her, have afternoon tea with her on Friday, which has actually become a friend. So it's quite interesting. You know, if someone's, you know, really keen, they're going to keep coming back. They'll hunt you down in a good way. So, okay, I'm just flicking through. Does anyone else need help with packaging their story? Cool. So hi, Jan, how are you?
Hi, sorry I was late. I've had problems with the internet here.
I know, I was a bit sad. I was like, oh, Jan's not on the call. So, Jan, I would love you just to maybe share your business story, because I know it kind of stems from your product story. So have you got just a nice short story just to give an example for people on how to package that business story?
I'm sorry, the sound on my computer is not really good tonight. So what was the question?
Your sound's awesome, just so you know, I can hear you clearly. But could you just share your business testimony on how you would share it with someone, just as to give an example for people?
The short one.
Yes, the short one.
Okay. Jan McMahon from the Gold Coast here. I started on the products, and that really, I had great results, and that really gave me the confidence to do the business, because I was very shy and didn't have a lot of confidence, but after using the products, magic things happened for me, and obviously I want to share that with people. My background was packing shelves in a supermarket, and I'd done that for 5 long years, wanted something different, and thank goodness Herbalife walked into my life. And I started very, very part-time, around what I was still working full-time at the supermarket, and gradually got many customers on the product, and gradually built an income to about $600 a week on a regular basis, and that gave me the opportunity of leaving quite apprehensively. Can I really do this sort of business or not? But with the support that Herbalife does allow you to sort of join in and attend all the workshops and things like that, and take advantage of all that, and certainly calls like this that we have today. We didn't have that way back then, but take advantage of all that, and you're learning from everybody else. My business did grow, and obviously it's gone, you know, into several different countries from word of mouth, and it has been quite a security royalty income that has, you know, generated a good security for my retirement.
Excellent, thank you, Jen. So I would call that a 3 to 5 minute story, which is great. So one that you can elaborate on as well. And of course you shared your background, because, you know, I know if I'm in Coles and someone asks me off a recruiting flyer or something, a recruiting button, I'm going to tell them Jan's story because she used to work in the supermarket, so it's relatable. They might not relate to me being an artist and a mum and working at Telstra. So these are things to make it relatable. So thank you, Jan, for sharing. Lydia, would you like to share your business story just to give an example?
Yeah, sure, Shelley. So this is something that I use as a guide, as example at a shake party. So it's sort of a little bit more personal. And I always try and target somebody like myself, because I think I'm a nice person and they're the people I want to work with. So yeah, it would just go something generally like, so my background was a Jill of all trades, really. I'd been a barmaid, a cook, a cleaner. Also worked for 9 years in the shearing industry alongside my husband. But we bought this transport business in Billawheeler, and we moved here 9 years ago. But at that time, you know, I was helping Rick in the business, but I was always out there looking for something, you know, so I could earn a part-time income, just to be able to stay at home with our 3 babies at the time. Well, actually 2 then. You know, like most mums, I just wanted to make an income from home. And actually that's when I received the flyer in the letterbox, and I got started on the products. I had such really great results myself. I was actually sort of what we call, I fell into the business, I guess you could say, in my 2nd week of my own journey. I helped 3 friends on the products. And that's what got me excited. And then I could actually see I was making money, Shelley. So the first month in business, I made over $455. And that was just working around the 2 babies at the time and their activities. Any mums out there, you know what school can be like and all the sporting activities. So to be able to earn that and still be at home with the kids was absolutely fantastic. But with Herbalife, you look, I've met so many more, you know, great people. I've met half the town in Billawheeler just through my business. I've got so much more confidence. I was never somebody to get up in front of a crowd like this and to be able to put my story towards out to you guys. But with Herbalife Nutrition, like Jan said, that's what they give you. They give you the confidence and the knowledge to be able to do something like this. And the best part for me is really I earn between $2,000 and $3,000 a month, which is great because that helps with our private schooling, our sporting activities, you know, and that helps for a family holiday each year. And I just feel proud enough to be able to take my family on a holiday each year, and Herbalife pays for that. So thank you, Herbalife.
Excellent. That's an awesome, and what a powerful story. How many mums out there are wanting to do something part-time in their community and earn an income that maybe just sends the family away for a holiday every single year? That's really, really powerful. I remember listening to the Millionaire Training tapes, and that's what Larry Thompson said. If someone had $500 free and clear at the end of each month to do whatever they wanted to do, that's powerful, you know, being able to show someone how to do that, and you just do that, help as many people as you can do that, then that really is success. That's how I look at it. So thank you, Lydia. Such an inspiring story. So Lindy, not picking on you tonight or anything, but I could hear that you've got a few clients and things like that. How confident are you at telling your income story?
Oh boy. Oh, nice one, Shelley. Not very. Yeah, I'd have to look at the figures.
So let's narrow it down a little bit. So you just told me you had 2 new clients. Do you know how much profit you made from those 2 new clients?
50%.
50%. So, and dollar value?
Gosh. Okay. So
one was a Formula One Select?
Formula One Select. And then one's on another just regular Formula One, and he's just going for the advanced program tomorrow. I forgot to put in there my cleaner who has the worst skin I've ever seen of anyone, and I had a little bit left of the aloe gel. She went home with it, came back last week, and 110% better. So she's looking at the full ultimate skincare.
So she
and then I've got one other Formula One Select as well.
So has your cleaner ordered that? Yeah.
No, that's tomorrow. So you may as well say yes.
So the 2 Formula One Selects, have they been paid for?
Yes.
Right. And the advanced program, have they ordered that yet?
No, he's doing that tomorrow as well.
Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm just looking.
75, 35, 70. I'm trying to count up myself.
Thank you. 160. And what skin ones you're going to get?
Sorry?
The ultimate skin fat?
Yes. That's the only price I don't know offhand, but
that's okay. Okay, so that's cool. We can do that. So I'm going to give you just a part-time one for this week. So, hi, my name's Lindy from Canberra. My background is, tell us your background.
Remedial massage.
Remedial massage. And also your son, you've told me a little bit about because you've messaged me. So tell me a little bit about that.
I've got disabled twin boys who are 18, and Josh is a Formula One addict. Yeah, he loves it. But it's interesting. He knows when he avoids any biscuits now, and he'll go straight to the cupboard and stand there till I open it and make a shake. So that's brilliant for someone who's non-verbal. Yeah.
Cool. So this is what I would say. Hi, my name's Lindy from Canberra. My background is as a remedial therapist, plus I'm a mum of 2 twin boys, and whatever disability or however you want to package that, what you want to share, because that's entirely up to you. So I do the business really part-time around all of that, and just this week, really part-time, helping some people in my community. This is on 2 Formula One Selects at 50%. I've made $68 profit, which is fantastic. And then for next week's story, because you're getting someone on advanced and someone on an ultimate skin, next week you're going to be able to tell some people that part-time you've made $300 profit, and there might even be more clients to add to that. So make sure you work out. So when you do your retail receipts here, so when you write it in, also write down how many volume points you got, how much profit you made, so that when you flick through and you're working out your story for the week, or because you can do a weekly story, you can do a daily story, you can do a monthly story or a 90-day story, whichever is the most powerful. So obviously Jan's income, a 90-day story is really powerful to use. Lydia, I would do like a month, a great one as well. And Lindy, I would use yours as a daily or a weekly story. For part-time, and you know the part-time stories are really powerful, so I would always work out what your profit is so that you can package that and then share it with someone, because how many people out there just want to make an extra? If they went to the boss and asked for a $68 pay rise, what do you think the boss would say? No. No, you can't. Pretty much in most cases. So you know, this gives people leverage. It's using their time, the extra time. They turn the TV off, they stop scrolling through Facebook or whatever it is, and they go out and do her and part-time. They can bring an extra $100 a week into their household. That's powerful. Okay, so really know how powerful your story is and be proud of it, and tell it really proudly, just as proud as you are of your product story. Okay, cool. So just wanted to check with Irene and Connor, you happy with what I've said? Did you have anything to add to that? You need to unmute yourself, Irene.
Absolutely. This is brilliant. I know that, yes, Shelley, you're very experienced and you know exactly what to do and how to train, and I'm learning from you, and that's wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot.
Good to have you on the call, Irene.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very exciting.
It's nice to meet people on the call as well.
Yeah.
And Connor's there too, quietly as usual.
So this is your homework for everyone on the call. Even if you just need to go and refine your story, I want you to come up with a 30-second story, product and business, a 3 to 5 minute story, and a 30+ minute story. 31 might be harder to do, but really that's just a bit of to and froing with people in a conversation in that situation. So I think as long as you've got these first two, you know, written out so that you can share them. And yeah, just do it in the mirror or practice with a friend or family member or even your upline, and just start practicing. If you're not sure, they can help you package it, and I'm more than happy to do some one-on-one stuff if you ever need it. Okay. Cool. So let's go on with our next one. So if you're having trouble thinking about what you're going to say to someone, remember to use form. Okay. So when you're speaking to someone, think about asking them about their family. You know, hey, have you lived in, I always say, have you lived here in Gympie all your life? Most people haven't, or if they have, great. You know, have you lived anywhere else before, or do you have kids? You know, just start asking them about them. People like to talk about themselves. And occupation, what do you do for a living? You know, do you work? You know, finding out about their background. Are they studying? Recreation, what do they like doing in their part-time? Do they play sport? Are they an artist? You know, whatever it is. It gives you great ways to find out about them. So if I'm on the phone, I'm normally writing it down, but if I'm obviously with them, I'm trying to make a mental note on it, so it will look a bit weird, I guess, if I'm talking to someone, I'm writing it all down. And then you want to listen for the message, and the message is, what are they dissatisfied with? What area in their life are they dissatisfied? Are they dissatisfied with their health, their weight, their work? They might love their job but not earn enough. They might hate their job, but it's got great money, but they don't want to leave it. You know, there's all these things. So listen for the message on the solution that you can find. If you can find them a solution with our products and services, you know, they're going to want to get started with you. Okay, so you're just always looking for those solutions. And there's lots of different ways, like Randy said, enough about me, how about you? And that's a really great icebreaker as well. Okay, so we always were told that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak. And I know that this is one we all struggle with, being Herbalife people. Obviously, we're all talkers, and sometimes I've got to remember just to take a breath and don't be interested in someone, not necessarily interesting. Okay, if we're talking too much, and it happens a lot when we're nervous, just breathe deeply and go back to form and start asking some questions, and you're going to get better results. Okay, and it's really just bringing the best out in you as a coach, and it's also getting to know this person and building a relationship. So if you listen more, you ask more questions, and talk less, you're going to find out more about that person and whether they're the sort of person you're going to be able to help and work with. Okay, you'll get to that point faster by doing this. So Jan, did you have anything to add to that?
No, that's really perfect, because it is about sort of paying attention to what people are saying so we can fit in what's going to be suitable for them.
Yep, cool. And as Lydia said, that perfect one, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So it's okay if they say no, don't take it personally. So this is something we were taught as well, that yes, you know, we need to know our story, but we also need to know when we're out talking to people, we need to be aware of our numbers. So in Mexico, there's this little town called Sinaloa, and a lot of us have heard this before, and it stands for safety in numbers and the law of averages. So law of averages is something that Jim Rohn talks a lot about. And you really want to know your numbers. You want to know that if I talk to 10 people, how many are going to say no and how many are going to say yes? Because if you think you're going out there to talk to 10 people and they're all going to say yes, it's probably not, you know, you don't know your numbers yet. So I know if I put out 500 proven flyers that I'm going to get between 1 and 4 calls, I know that number. So you need to be aware of your numbers, keep good gauges, write it down, and be as consistent as you can. You know, if you do 1,000 flyers over a month, and but you can do 1,000 flyers in a day, where you're going to get a better strike rate by doing more in a concentrated amount of time. So did you have anything else to add to this, Jan?
No, that's fine, Shelley.
Cool. So I want you to keep this in mind about doing the numbers, talking to a certain amount of people every single day. Look, not everyone could. I know that Gary always did the 30 people and he wouldn't go to bed until he'd spoken to those 30. We've all heard that story at night when he'd only spoken to like 28 and he had 2 more people to speak to, and it was like 11 o'clock at night in Perth, and you know, no one was around, and he was like, who am I going to talk to? I can't go home. And then he heard the garbage truck coming around, and where they used to have the people helping and doing that, and he ran around and spoke to them. They weren't the least bit interested, but he'd talked to his last 2 and he could go home.
Yep.
So if you've got that sort of attitude for talking to 2 people a day or 5 people a day or 10 people a day, whatever it is that's your number, and you do that consistently with that passion and belief that you have, sharing your story and other people's stories, you're going to get you know, people coming to you on the products and in the business.
Yeah.
Okay, so always try to get the person's details. Look, it's not always possible. So I did really well today. I'm going to give you a relevant story. So I was doing Fit Club today. I was down on the mat doing something, and this girl standing above me. And she goes, can you tell me more about what you're doing? I really need to lose my baby tummy. I've had 3 kids. I said, oh, no problems. And so I gave her my details. I thought, oh, I need to get her details. And so I've said, are you on Facebook? I did a Quinton. It's really exciting. And so I typed in her name and found it, and I sent her a friend's request. I said, no problems, I'll let you know when the next session's on, and come along. You can bring your kids, and it's all child friendly. And so that was really cool. I actually got her details, which sometimes I forget to do, or I feel like I'm pressuring or whatever goes on in my head with that. So if you're able to get their name and number, and generally if you just go, oh, so what's your number? 04, they will generally give it to you. Okay, so it just increases your strike rate and puts you in control of getting back to them, and you don't have to harass them or anything. It's really just getting a decision, and it doesn't matter it's yes or no. You just don't want it to be sitting on the fence. And again, going back to the millionaire training tapes with Larry Thompson, he always said you just go for that 51% accuracy factor. You don't have to go for 80% or 100%. You just want 51%. You just want a decision. So it doesn't matter whether it's a yes or no, as long as you get one. Okay, and as we know, no doesn't always mean no forever anyway. So Irene, O'Connell, Jan, did you want to add to this?
No, that's fine. Just prior with your numbers and things, what I was thinking of is for new people, if they start doing flyers or talking to people, don't think you've got to start with high numbers. Even if it's just, you know, if you're doing flyers, even if it's 50 flyers to get started. Or 100 flyers, and then gradually increase, and maybe it might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday that you can do it. Sort of work around your, you know, what your daily activity can be around your family, your work, whatever it is. So, and then gradually you can increase your numbers. You know, never feel as though you're failing if you don't, because if you set your target too high and you don't achieve that, you feel as though you've let yourself down. So start small and then work up to a bigger number. Okay, and I think that's you know, much better in that respect.
Definitely, and I know I've been guilty of that, setting this humongous number
Yeah.
flyers and never achieving it. Hey, it was easier in Adelaide when it was square and flat and condensed, but in Gympie it's hilly. So I also know that if I face-to-face handing of flyers gets a better strike rate, so that's a great way in a country town with lots of hills and a smaller population to get those flyers out as well. So, you know, find different creative ways of getting them out if you're able to. But, you know, shop counters, lunch-rooms, but the face-to-face thing works really, really well. So thank you for adding that, Jan.
With some flyers too, somebody taught me many years ago was get a bunch of flyers, punch a hole in the corner, get some ribbon and tie them up so they don't go everywhere, and find convenient places, and even ask them shops if you can sort of leave that tidily somewhere and people can tear off that flyer, because shopkeepers don't like sort of mess on their counters or anything like that. So you've got to find ingenious ways of sort of leaving things in a nice, you know, sort of good way, so it's not getting messy on their thing. And you know, even in supermarkets if you can, or you know, fruit shop, anywhere that you can leave them tidily.
Yeah, you could even make them look really Christmassy with some tinsel or something at the time of year, so it blends in with their Christmas decoration.
Yeah.
So
we used to do that a lot many years ago.
That's right. So there's lots of creative things that you can do. So thank you, Jan. Okay, so you want to know your story, but you also want to learn other people's stories so that you can be relatable. Again, it might be if you've lost 24 kilos, Lindy, but you're talking to someone that needs to lose 5, you want to have a 5 kilo story and a 10 and a 15 and so on, and a 50 kilo one, so that no matter who you're talking to, male, female, small amount, large amount, you've got a story that can relate. Same thing with the business testimonials, is knowing all the stories in the background, so when you're talking to someone who's got a similar background, you're going to be able to relate to them as well. So you really want to network at events and collect those stories and become that story collector. So you'll have hard copies of the story, you can even get recordings and things like that you can play and listen to and then write down, so that you've got, like I know I've got a whole A to Z thing of all different product stories, so that when someone's says to me, oh, I've got this or that, I could say, well, I can't, you know, I don't claim to be able to cure that, but hey, here's this person that had something similar and this is what happened to them. So you want to be as relatable as possible. So, whoops, I don't know what happened there.
I think as well, Shelley, when you're talking, when we go to events, what I do, and it's just something, there's so many stories, but I always take the name of the story that touches my heart, because that's one that I remember very well, and I can then go to the person and get more details. But I think that when we're in a big event, there's so many, you can't take them all down. But the ones that touch you are the ones that you'll be able to relate to other people easily as well.
Definitely, and I think at STSs and kickoffs, because often they're a smaller amount of people, that if you've heard someone at the Herbalife Opportunity meeting share a story, then you can go and catch up with them afterwards and get that more detail or a copy of their story as well. So definitely collect as many stories as possible. So I think we've got one more slide, but for some reason it's, oh, okay, I don't know why I did that.
Shelley, just regarding testimonials, handing out, like if you get a testimonial from somebody, obviously a photo really makes that page come alive. Also, the person's name, perhaps the area they live, but just make sure they don't leave their phone number or any other sort of personal details on that piece of paper, because if you're handing it out, you don't want people sort of contacting them or anything like that. But just, you know, a picture and maybe the suburb or Brisbane, whatever it is, that general sort of thing, but never sort of personal details.
Cool, and definitely another great point too, Jan, thank you, is the disclaimer. Make sure you've got the individual results may vary, results not typical in, I think it's size 10 or 12 font, and the same thing with the business testimonials. Just have those disclaimers on there just to protect you, and then, you know, obviously you can share them out as well. So, and you just need to remember that it's the stories that get people to try the products. That's what inspires people. It gets people to stay on the products and to upgrade onto other products, because you're sharing results and stories about that, and it's going to keep people on the products long term. So, and this is, as we know, over 70% of the President's team were clients first. So your clients are going to make great team members. So just keep sharing stories when you're doing your follow-up and everything like that. It's really the thing that inspires people. You don't have to know all the nitty-gritty and ingredients and details. You just need to keep sharing results, okay? And keep working on your own personal result as well. So just to wrap it up, I just wanted to see, Irene, did you want to add anything to this topic?
No, absolutely not. Thank you very much.
All right. Jan, did you want to add anything?
No, that's fine, Shelley. It was excellent.
Cool. Lydia? No, that's cool. Thank you for sharing today. And Con, did you have anything you wanted to share?
No, you covered it all very well, Shelley.
Thank you, Con. Thank you very much. So next week we'll have a comprehensive thing on all the different promotions and events that are coming up. So, but just keep in mind, being very early in the month still, that we've got some kickoffs still going on. You've got your STSs, so make sure you know with them all going around. If you've got team in other countries, remember STSs are worldwide. You've got the Success Summit coming up in November, the Adelaide Spectacular coming in February, and there's lots and lots of promotions going on. So if you're not ever sure, you can always contact Herbalife and they can send them out to you. I'm just waiting for the updated PowerPoint on that so that we can go through them step by step. Plus there's heaps of different promotions. You've got your active member program, you've got the active supervisor. There's just so many different things that you can qualify for at the moment, and including the Herbalife vacation to Vietnam. So if you're not sure about it, just get onto the website. There's heaps of different flyers that you can print out on that and have it in front of you so you can see them. So that's what I would suggest. Just don't think that you can't do it. Just print everything out. If you're not sure about it, have a chat to your mentor and your sponsor, and they will go through it with you. And if you're really serious about qualifying for it, so for example, if you're not a supervisor yet, but you want to qualify for Vietnam, they can show you, one, how to get to supervisor, and then how to start putting those volume points into play to qualify for that. And we've had so many stories of people qualifying on 3 or 4 months of that promotion. Is that right, Jan? And I really like those stories of people doing it in such a short amount of time because they had the desire and they had the want to. And guess what? They didn't know that it was hard or it was difficult in their mind. So you want to have that attitude in everything you do. Okay, that anyone can do it, including you. So thank you, everyone. I'm just going to click off the share so we can all see each other, because you know I like doing that. Here we are. So thank you for being on the call tonight, everyone. So obviously this is recorded. So I'm just going to convert it and put it on a YouTube link and put it into the group. So if there's someone that couldn't be on the call tonight, you can share it with them. You can watch it with them and follow up. And we're going to try and do different topics every single week, and more than happy to have more the merrier on this call, and covering all different things that are going to help people advance their businesses. So thank you for being on the call tonight, everyone.
Thank you, Shelley.
Shelley, for all the work.
Thank you, Shelley.
I've got one question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely, Coral.
This here, I don't know if you
The recognition evening, yeah.
Yes. What is it all about and where is it held at, please?
I don't think they've done the location yet, have they, Jan and Juan?
Haven't decided yet.
So anyone can qualify for this, Coral. So it's basically, and I think you've got a really good shot at it. You should be just going for this like crazy. Hey, darling. So I would, yeah. So there's on personal volume and recruiting. So yeah, I would just so it's got, you can recruit. I haven't got it in front of me here, but it's 10 people. 25 people got it on there.
Yeah, and there's 3 different, why is there 3 different levels? What does that mean?
Read it out.
Recruitment recognition, 10 first line members.
Yep.
Doing the qualified. Then there's 15 first line members, or 20 first line members. Then there's personal production recognition, 10,000 volume points, or 15,000 or 20,000. So it looks like there's 3 levels, but I don't understand.
Okay, collectively in how long? 3 months?
Between September and November.
Yeah. So collectively you accrue those numbers.
Yes, but why is there 3 levels?
Because
what does that mean?
Because not everybody does the same amount of work. Some people might do 10,000 volumes, some people might do the 15.
Okay, so it all equals.
Well,
Same.
no, it's not the same. Everybody achieves their different levels. Some people have got more activity happening than others, but you'll qualify for the recognition evening.
Okay, okay, no
So
problem.
my advice would be go for the highest one.
Yes, always.
Because you're going to hit, you know that if you go for that and you miss, you're going to hit one of those. Don't aim for the lowest, aim for the highest.
Yeah, always.
Okay, no problem.
So, but yes, just go for it. Carol and Michael, I know you can qualify for that. I can't wait to see your names on that. So that's all go for that. I think that's really exciting. And so we'll go through all of these in great detail, and I'll make sure we've got everything, all the facts on every single promotion on how to go about doing it, and we'll cover it all next week. And I would love everyone to help, especially Jan and Irene and Con, who have heaps of experience with this. If you're able to be on next week's call, we would love your input.
Yep, no problem.
Well, we'll have a good night. I'm going to finish recording now.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. I'll send the recording out soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.